Alright, so to install the full auto sear and a GNP walk, you're going to need at least 3 parts. The full auto sear, the pin, and the spring. You may or may not need the washers depending on how much room you have between your lower and your full auto sear. Most of the time I don't need it. But anyways, let's start with the pin with the ridge. You want to have that on the facing the right side of the gun. So let's get that started. So I usually start it by inserting it from the left side, and then I insert the full auto sear in about 20-30% of the way in, so that it only sticks in about that much. Then you're gonna want to get the spring with the long end. That's gonna sit in front of the selector shaft, and then you're gonna want to place that onto the the little protruding part of the pin, or what's you know, that little bit that was protruding. Make sure that the spring, the long end of the spring, is in front of the selector shaft, which it is right now. Now you're going to need the key part, which is the needle nose pliers. You want them as thin and as small as possible. If you don't have that, the larger ones will work, but the thinner the easier. So you're going to want to grab where the straight end of the short one is turning into the coil, so about right there. You want to grab there and give it a rolling, you want to roll your wrist forward and bend that spring underneath behind there. And you only put in about 20% of that pin down into the lower to give it room to flex the spring. So you should have, and there you saw that I just flipped it back, and the pin isn't even in all the way yet. So now once you have it flipped downwards, you want to push the pin all the way through, make sure everything's aligned, and there you go. It's installed. No headaches. As long as you have that little ridge on the right side, the pin won't fall out on you. I'm applying some force on the left side, and it clicks onto the spring, and it won't come out by itself. But as you can see, everything works.